Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Arizona Backyard Naturalist. I'm your host, Jenny Estrie, an Arizona Master Naturalist intern from the Maricopa County Parks chapter. I live on the foothills of South Mountain in suburban Phoenix, Arizona, and every week I take a look to see what's happening in my own backyard and give tips and tricks to help other backyard naturalists in the area identify and learn more about the local environment. This week's episode of Backyard Naturalist is a bird episode. We are returning to our fine feathered friends this week to focus on a bird that I see pretty frequently in my backyard, but actually see a lot more of in my in-laws' backyard on the other side of South Mountain in Ahwatukee. I'll talk about why in just a few minutes. This week's bird is the Great-tailed Grackle, also called the Mexican grackle, Quiscalus mexicanus in Latin. The Great-tailed Grackle is a gorgeous bird. If you ever get the chance to see a male up close in the sunlight, you'll notice immediately that they have these beautiful iridescent feathers in the black, purple, sometimes kind of bluish range. But the most noticeable thing about great-tailed grackles, for most people, is the size of their tail. Their tails are disproportionately long for their size. This is a really easy way to identify them, and it's particularly helpful because these birds are so often on the wing or up high in a tree. The tail is easy to spot in both of those contexts. You can see several examples of this really distinctive profile that they have going on in this shot. In general, grackles are the same size and general shape as any blackbird species until you get to that tail. With the tail, they're about 15 inches long and weigh between 3 and 4 pounds. As you can see, great-tailed grackles are a social bird. They are mostly found in a flock, whether they're foraging or on the move or settling down for the evening. And when I say settling down for the evening, I mean making the most god-awful cacophony you can imagine. Grackles are loud birds, particularly when they're in groups. I'm going to play a couple examples of their various calls here, and I found the perfect picture to show while I do that. Here we go. Here's another example. Oh. All right, and this is what they sound like when they're all together in the evening getting ready to roost. See? So loud. That's what it sounds like in the evenings at my in-laws' house. I like to sit in the backyard as the sun sets, and there is almost always a nice grackle chorus going on in the background. I said at the beginning of the video that I more commonly see these birds at my in-laws' backyard than in mine, and one possible reason for that is that my in-laws have bird feeders in their backyard, as do several of their neighbors. These are the types of feeders that give seed, not the kind of red sugar water feeders that you would see hummingbirds at. If you'd like to attract grackles to your yard, they eat insects, but they'll also eat seeds, nuts, grains, berries, fruits. They particularly like cracked corn and sorghum bird seed, which is pretty easy to find in stores. You'll also see the sorghum seed is also called Milo seed. So the next time you hear a particularly loud group of birds, take a look to see if you can identify them. If they've got that unique long tail, then congratulations, you've got an annoyance of grackle. No, really, that's the collective noun for grackle, an annoyance. For more information on the great-tailed grackle, you can visit any of these sites, which are also linked below in the info box. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Arizona Backyard Naturalist.